triggers are very hard. I will have to say I was triggered on the way here, and it's really let me know how far I've come, okay? Because I can feel the old Kristi when I'm triggered. I can feel her just bubbling, like literally I can feel her bubbling up, right? And I can feel the shakes, and I can feel that shaky breathing, and I can feel that tingly nose when I just want to roar, right? Explode. But in that moment, I was highly aware that I was triggered and I was angry. And the anger is something that I need to process through before the situation got out of control, right? When you're in a situation with someone and you are completely triggered, please let that anger process through you before you react, right? I do not want to react to a situation. I want to respond to a situation in the most appropriate way, right? So I'm sitting next to the person that I am triggered by, and of course we're trapped in a car together, and we have about 15 miles to go, right? So I'm triggered, and I'm sitting, and I'm staring at the window, and I'm just processing through how I feel. This is how I feel. This is why I feel this way. This is where this feeling originated from. It did not originate from this moment right here. This person hasn't done anything to create this trigger, so I know that the anger should not be directed towards this person directly. I just have to state and say, these are my boundaries, and the reasons that I have these boundaries are because I grew up in an unstable environment, right? I grew up in an unstable environment. I grew up where safety was not something that was on the regular, right? It was always high anxiety. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how my parents were going to react. I didn't know what kind of mood was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to go on. So I'm living in a very high anxiety environment when I'm a child, right? So as an adult, what I used to do was let my trauma rule me. So I would be triggered and I would react and I would do all the things that Kristi, who repeated old cycles, and Kristi, who lived in her trauma, did. Now, because I'm ascended and I'm expanding my consciousness and I'm really healing, I am highly aware that I am triggered. I am highly aware that my past behaviors have done no good for me, and I am highly aware what the higher consciousness decision is. Now, the trick is to not let my ego, which is so strong because I've had 40 years of experience with this ego.
Right.
I've only had 4 years of experience with connecting to this higher self. So sometimes the ego is so strong, she just pulls you right in, right? And you just react in the same exact ways. But I could feel every single thing in me wanting to respond like old Kristi, but my nervous system is so, I'm in control. I'm in control of my nervous system. I have worked so hard on the breathing, and yes, I was breathing. In the car, it was silent. There was no music. It was the most awkward silence in the world, right? And here I am taking a deep breath in, and even though I was shaking, it was... Even though I was shaking, I knew that in that moment, clearing through that energy, breathing through that moment was the best thing. And of course, she was saying, are you cold? No. No, I'm not cold. I'm trying not to be old Kristi. I'm trying to be new Kristi because you do not deserve old Kristi. Mm-hmm. You don't deserve her. You're better than that. And I know you're better than that because I vibrated you to me. Mm-hmm. Right? We're partners. We are on the same level, and there is no way that I would ever want to treat you the way that old Kristi has treated partners, because you are so much more deserving of that.
Absolutely.
So I breathed through it, and I simply explained, I have boundaries. I have boundaries, and these are my boundaries. And if those boundaries aren't okay with you, we can figure out a different situation, but this situation can't happen anymore because these are my boundaries,
Yes.
So my point of both of these stories is that in the next 2 weeks coming up to this beautiful fire horse energy. Also, the astrology that's happening, indirect planets now moving direct. Like, there's so many things that are happening. An eclipse, the fire horse energy is the eclipse, also a solar eclipse. Like, there's so much positive energy coming our way that we literally have to be absolutely aware of every single one of our triggers, because they are a lesson of things that we are not going to be able to carry with us in this. If we still have these triggers, we are not going to be able to do what we need to do in this next chapter of our life. So it is highly important that you are aware of all of your triggers that are coming up in this moment.
Okay.